Welcome to the Arcana podcast. We're happy to share with you the Dharma Dojo lectures. This series is called Dhammapada with Dr. Masaki Matsubara, a 18th generation Zen priest in the Japanese Rinzai tradition. Enjoy the 7th episode of the Dhammapada.
Nice to see you at this Dharma Dojo. I'm giving today's class from my temple, Butsumoji. So the back scene is my temple's altar. So it's nice to share my temple view a little bit. I'm appreciating internet. So let's start with a brief meditation. Straighten your back. Not too much. Try to open your chest so that you can get a lot of fresh air. Imagine your ears and shoulders are on the same line. Most importantly, slowly breathe in. Even much more slowly breathe out. When you exhale, exhale all your air completely so that you can inhale naturally. Exhale as long as your breath lasts. Slowly breathe in. Much more slowly breathe out. You might recite Odaimoku Nam-myoho Renge Kyo as long as your breath lasts. When you breathe in, breathe out. Concentrating on your hara, lower stomach, or let's say tanden, located 3 fingers below your navel. Imagine you are breathing in from tanden. And you are breathing out to tanden. From tanden to tanden. From hara to hara. Slowly breathe in. Much more slowly breathe out. Make yourself relaxed. Controlling your breath is controlling your mind. One of the best ways to do it is slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. Open your eyes, stretch your back, stretch your neck, stretch your shoulder, stretch your arms, stretch your body very well. Again, hello everyone. It's very nice to see you at this Dharma Dojo. Sadly, this is a second class from the last. Time so quickly passing. But still, we are thinking next project, next theme we would love to have. So please look forward to the next session as well. So today, we will focus on the last element of Eightfold Noble Path by reading the Dhammapada. So far, we have studied the previous 7 elements. And in the last class, we really focus on the meaning of mindfulness. Again, mindfulness means originally to remember. The question is to remember what? To remember Buddha's teaching, Buddha's law, which is causality, cause and effect, dependent origination that includes impermanence. And throughout this class, we are looking at the term right. But right means, it doesn't mean just simply meaning correct. Right means here, more accurately, to see, to understand, and to experience the idea of dependent origination, causality, cause and effect. So number 7, right mindfulness, again means remembering Buddha's law in a manner of causality. That is the literary meaning. Today, based on the previous 7 elements of the path, let's say practice, we'll move on the last element, which is light meditation. Here again, right means to see, to understand, or to digest, and to experience the idea of causality. And here, meditation. Meditation means, it doesn't mean sitting meditation only. It's more like a state of mind in any of meditative practices, which means, let's say, samadhi. In Japanese, zammai. Samadhi is, let's say, in English, high concentration or absorption. So light meditation is light samadhi. Entering the state of mind in samadhi. While seeing and understanding and experiencing causality, dependent origination. That is the literal meaning of the word light meditation. And here, light samadhi, light high concentration, right observation. What they want to say by this term is entering the state of mind where mind is very stable. It's very stable in one point. So our mind is not scattered. Our mind is not looking for that, this, that. I like this, I like that. I want to do this, I want to do that. Our mind is not scattered like that. It's more like just concentrating on the one point, which is very stable. Let's say immovable. Mind is always there. It's like actually Dhammapada. I forgot the number. In the Dhammapada, the text represents such a state as ground or earth. The earth on we are standing. The earth is always stable. And we have earthquakes or storm, those kind of things. But in general, earth is considered to be very stable. That's why we can stand, we can walk. It's such a earth we have to have as a mind. So that is the meaning of meditation. We want to have a very stable state of mind, which is samadhi or high concentration, or sometimes the state of absorption. Today, I have collected several of sayings from the Dhammapada related to right meditation. So we want to think about those. So how about someone can someone read the first saying, number 82? Thank you.
Wise people, after they have listened to the laws, become serene, like a deep, smooth, and still lake.
Thank you very much. So, like wise people, after they have listened to the laws. Laws means here, we have studied so far, causality, right? The basic law of Buddha, that is dependent origination, causality, cause and effect. And again and again, when we say dependent origination and causality, that those ideas include automatically the idea of impermanence. So Dhammapada said, the key to make our mind still or calm, like a deep lake, we need to understand the causality. That is a very key idea of Buddhism related related to a solution Shakyamuni Buddha is offering for us from suffering, right? Suffering is everywhere, but the Buddha said we have to see the reason why those happen. And those reasons are endlessly related to the past. So we can trace those one by one, and we can think of those, and we can think of solutions of those, and we can respond to those. So next, 86, someone?
I can do it.
Thank you, Iruka-san.
But those who, when the law has been well preached to them, follow the law, will pass across the dominion of death, however difficult to overcome.
Thank you very much. This is also showing the term, the law. Here again, the law means causality and dependent origination. But the interesting thing is those who understand the law will pass across the dominion of death. The dominion of death here means attachment, human attachment, the human desire. Probably we can expand the ideas into like a comparison. The mind of want. So we'll pass, those who understand the law will pass across human desire, human attachment. We can enter in the end, after our practice, serious practice, entering the state of calm mind with no attachment, no desire. Next, 94, someone? This is interesting too. Hi, David. So, thank you.
Number 94, the gods even envy him whose senses, like horses well broken in by the driver, have been subdued, who is free from pride and free from appetites.
Thank you very much. Free from pride and free from appetite. Free from desire, free from attachment. The key idea is being subdued, controlling ourselves, training ourselves. In what ways? To see, to understand, and to experience causality and dependent origination. So being subdued, in Japanese, 自己を整える, controlling our mind, controlling ourselves. That is very key idea here. And in general, we want to be like this, like the gods even envy us. So after understanding the causality, and free from pride, free from desire and attachment, and being subdued, we want to have the state of mind, which is still. Number 96. This is also similar.
I'll read.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. His thought is quiet. Quiet are his words and deed. When he has obtained freedom by true knowledge, when he has thus become a quiet man.
Thank you. These are related to, this line is related to the previous three sayings. And if I say here, his thought is quiet, his word and deed. So body, speech, mind idea is here as well. And we need to be subdued in terms of thought, word, deed, or body, speech, mind, then we can become quiet man. Quiet man means the person who enter or is entering nirvana or enlightenment or becoming a person who are in samadhi, in meditative state. Number 114, that is also interesting. Someone. Okay, so I will go. And he who lives 100 years, not seeing the immortal place, a life of one day is better if a man sees the immortal place. That is really interesting saying, and it's very, I really like this. Obviously, we don't live for 100 years. But once we find a moment of immortal place in mind, that means you are getting an immortal life. In other way around, you might say, we do not want to live for 100 years for a long time with just desires, attachment that are causing sufferings. Rather than that, just only one moment, only one day, we have an opportunity to go beyond our desires, our attachment, so that we are reaching non-attachment real. That is the place where we can find eternal happiness. Once we get the eternal happiness, of course, we will study later, though, happiness will not last forever. But once we find happiness, true happiness, it means we are getting immortal life as well. This is very profound saying here, number 114. So 157. If a man hold himself dear, let him watch himself carefully. It is easy to say or complain others, but we have to reflect ourselves first. First, we have to manage ourselves. We have to control ourselves. 158. Let each man direct himself first to what is proper. Then let him teach others. Before telling something to others, see yourself, reflect yourself. once you control yourself, manage yourself, then you can instruct others. Same idea. If our mind is not pure and clean and compassionate, let's say awake, the product we are trying to do is not pure and compassionate and awake, neither. First, our mind is very important. Number 159. If a man make himself as he teaches others to be, then being himself well subdued, he may subdue others. One's own self is indeed difficult to subdue. This is well said. Even we have studied that the meditative practice is to find our true selves. But as the Dhammapada said here, it's very difficult to find our true selves, because our true selves is very living very deeply in our mind. In those deep layers, we have accumulated, piled up our desires and attachment as we have lived so far. So we have to continue to dig ourselves and try to find our true selves. We might see a moment, oh, this might be our true self, but that is a delusion. Still, we have to go further to dig ourselves. In such like that, it's very difficult to find our true self. In Dhammapada said here, one's own self is indeed difficult to subdue. It is difficult to find ourselves, true self. Then it's very hard to practice, control and manage ourselves. But that's why we are doing practice. If we can easy to have goals, practice is not so important. We need to, the purpose of practice to keep practice, right? To keep practice. It's an endless practice. That is a goal of practice. And here, again, Dhammapada said, being himself well subdued. This is key idea of actually in Dhammapada. And earlier they said being subdued. Here, being himself well subdued. Related to this line, I picked up the this saying. I think I introduced this saying. Self is the Lord of self. Who else could be the Lord? With self well subdued, a man finds the Lord such as few can find. We have to remember our boss is ourselves. Our boss is not the sutras. It's not Paramita Sutras, Lotus Sutras, any of the sutras. Sutras is just supplement to as a way, the best way to look at our true selves. The sutras is are the best way to be ourselves well subdued. In other words, we have to, in the end, to make ourselves awake is ourselves. We have to awake by ourselves. Sutras, Zazen practices, those are simply practices that help us. First of all, we have to understand the most important thing is to find our true selves. And true selves will save you. Meditative practices, reciting sutras, or outside work as a samu. Any Buddhist practices are supplement to find your true selves. Self is the Lord of self. Who else could be the Lord? With self well subdued, a man finds the Lord such as few can find. With self well subdued. Related to that, this is very important line. Number 186 in Dhammapada said, there is no satisfying lust, even by a shower of gold pieces. He who knows that lusts have a short taste and cause pain, he is wise. It is truly said, it is well said how our mind works. We can say, we can replace the term gold pieces with money today. Everyone want to money a little bit more. We always say, if we have money a little bit more now, I can buy this, I can do this. I can go to a vacation. We always feel that. That's normal because we are human beings. It's normal. Everyone has same experience, same feeling. But once we attach to it, that is causing here pain or suffering in Buddhist term. We need to be practitioners who understand that our desires, our attachment, and our happiness will not last forever. Always their own ends. It is obvious, right? Because we are living in the net of webs of causality. We are living in the webs of dependent origination. Because of that, everything has its own start and also its own end. We can apply to our own happiness as well. Happiness does not last forever. In the same way, suffering as well, pain as well. Pain has its end. Suffering has its end. That is Buddhist law. That's why Buddha said we don't need to worry about the sufferings we are facing to. We are just standing in a temporary situation of sufferings. It will be gone in any way. That's why Shakyamuni Buddha say we don't need to attach to the sufferings themselves we are facing to. Rather than that, we need to look at why that happened. In a sense, it's very practical. Number 86. This is very important saying. There is no satisfying lust, even by a shower of money, gold. He who knows that lust have a short taste and cause pain, he is wise. Even we have a lot of money, or even so many materials, naturally we feel more and more. We want to get more and more. So this is very, it's amazing. Already Dhammapada talks about this almost 2,000 years ago. So Dhammapada suggests that almost 2,000 years ago. Let us live happily then, free from greed among the greedy. Among men who are greedy, let us dwell free from greed. That is well said. That is how to find our happiness. That is a way to find our calm mind in our busy lives today. Number 186 and 199, those two sayings are the details of Dhammapada's idea of being ourselves well subdued. Dhammapada said, with self well subdued. Our question is, how can do it? And Dhammapada said, Dhammapada gives us these two examples. So in the end, Dhammapada said, 380, for self is the lord of self. Self is refuge of self. Therefore, carve thyself as a merchant carves a good horse. So always controlling yourself, manage yourself, and training yourself, because self is the boss of yourself. The boss means your true self. So when we look for help, help or something like enlightenment experience or something calm state, calm situation outside ourselves. But the answer is to look for that inwardly, because seeing yourself, controlling yourself, and managing yourself is a moment of salvation, a moment of enlightenment, a moment of having your calm mind. But we are forgetting that. We are forgetting, according to Dhammapada, quote, self is the lord of self, quote. We are looking for something helpful outside ourselves. But the core of salvation we need to look for in the end is always within yourself. Within yourself. So we have studied the last element of Eightfold Noble Path, right meditation. And we are looking at some of the examples of right meditation, right samadhi, right high concentration. And so far, we can say we have looked at all the elements of the Eightfold Noble Path. But today's lesson to take home is the Eightfold Noble Path is not the one-way practice. You start with right views and end with right meditation. What is the general understanding of Eightfold Noble Path? It's a one way. It's like beginning with right views and the goal of entering the right meditation. And then you will achieve enlightenment, like touchdown. Not like that. Once, probably as you have already noticed, in the state of the right meditation, Dhammapada is talking about being ourselves well subdued, controlling yourself, controlling ourselves, managing ourselves. Self is the key in the last element of the Eightfold Noble Path, which means once you achieve the right meditation, we have to go back to the beginning in order to see ourselves, in order to be ourselves well subdued. What we have to do? We have to see ourselves in a right way, which is right views. So please remember, the Eightfold Noble Path is not the one-way practice. It's not like American football. Okay, we continue to attain the first down and then finally touchdown. Once we get touchdown, still we have to play is still continued, right? So once we achieve the right meditation, that go back to right views and right thoughts, right speech, and come to again the right meditation, and then go back to the right view again. So this is an endless circle practice. That is a very important point of Buddhist practice in general, and Eightfold Noble Path in particular. Again, right meditation. In other texts, you can easily find ideas in terms of this. We need the last element of the path is right meditation. We need to have proper meditative practices to find yourself or to find state of calm mind or samadhi. But more deeply, right meditation is looking at your true self, controlling yourself, managing yourself. In order to do that, we have to have a state of stable mind, quiet mind, to see our own nature. When we see our own nature, naturally, we recognize the importance of the first element of the path, which is right views. So everything is connected. Even the last element of the light meditation is continued to the first element of the light views. It's not the one-way practice. This is a circle, endless. There's no goal. So once you see the people who are saying, "Oh, we attained enlightenment. We have satori experience." You can immediately doubt those experiences because our practice is endless. That's why our life is our endless practice. Goal as well. Once we get the goal, automatically we will find another goal, right? It's endless. In the same way, life is an endless practice. So I will summarize that the last element of the path, light meditation, is the cause of the first element of the path, light views. Here again, we can see causality and cause and effect, dependent origination. That idea is consistent in the Eightfold Noble Path in particular, and Buddhist practices in general. Thank you very much. And do you have any comments and questions? Any concerns?
Hello. It seems as though what you were describing of the Eightfold Path was almost very, very similar to the idea of the mutual possession, and so that each one contains the other, and that sort of thing, I'm just wondering, was that what you kind of really pointing towards?
Yeah, Harris, thank you so much. Yeah, it's very true. So that's why I was again and again repeatedly saying the causality, cause and effect, and independent origination. So the path actually is composed of the idea of dependent origination, causality. So number 1 and number 2, number 7, number 8, even number 2 and number 8, whatever. All the 8 elements are related to each other.
Well, they're all based on wisdom, and I mean, wisdom is, wisdom is just knowledge until you incorporate it into yourself. Not all knowledge is wisdom, but until you really own it, it's not really wisdom you can use. So
Mm.
to me, that
Thank
seems like that's why it makes it each one part of the other. So,
Thank you. Mhm. The key is self.
Masaki-san, can I ask, what is the translation you are using? Would you recommend a specific translation of the Dhammapada?
Translation, English translation.
Mhm.
Here, I was using the 1963 publication, but with David's help, I could find very famous Buddhist scholar Max Mueller's translation. And David, can you?
Yes, I'm going to put the link to access to Insight in there, and then I'll put the Mueller one after that.
Oh, thank you so much. Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the access to Insight, and it's a little different translation. In some ways, I like it better. In other ways, I like the Mueller one and some of the others I've got. Let's see.
It is very hard to find a good, accurate translation on the website, but Max Mueller's translation reliable because just
You actually had it at the bottom of, you had the link to it at the bottom of some of your slides for the Mueller.
yes. Actually, the link.
Sometimes for me, it's helpful to look in multiple places because one translation doesn't necessarily resonate. And when you read one or two others, it'll give you a little better picture of what they're talking about.
Even I compared to English Mueller's translation and Japanese translations, and the translation is different. So it's very hard to choose.
And here's another one that's different as well.
But that is the nature of translations, and that is the fun part of the translations.
There's always some interpretation in there.
Yeah. So today's key is the path is actually endless practice. That's like our life. And our life is an endless practice. So probably when we die, that is the end of our practice. So there is no retirement. There is no retirement. We can't retire because endless practice, right? And actually, that is my grandfather who died in 2010 at the age of 103. He said, life is a practice and he has no retirement. And he said, when he died, that day is the day of his retirement.
And when you die, there'll still be things in your inbox.
Yeah, actually he said, maybe I can, yes, here Tokyo, I can get it. His kind of calligraphy, his will, kind of will poem. He said, so today is a day of retirement, but next day is a day of new teaching day on the other side. So he said he's really busy. Yeah, today is a day of retirement. The next day is the first day of new teaching day, new teaching activity on the other side. That is very encouraged me a lot because I felt very sad. My grandfather is gone, but in that way, he's always here with me. And also remember the path is always all the elements, 8 elements are related, closely interconnected each other. And all the 8 elements are based on the idea of causality, cause and effect, dependent origination. Everything okay? Okay, so give me 2 minutes. Straighten your back. Slowly breathe in. Much more slowly breathe out. When you breathe out, recite Odaemoku Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. As long as your exhalation lasts. Imagine you are exhaling all your air. And naturally inhale. When you exhale, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Exhale all your air. Then get a lot of fresh air. Very deeply. And again, slowly breathe out. Slowly breathe in. Much more slowly breathe out. One more time. Slowly breathe in. Even much more slowly breathe out. Open your eyes, stretch your arms, stretch your neck, stretch your body very well. And thank you very much. I really enjoyed studying Dhammapada today, and see you next week.
I hope you enjoyed listening to Dhammapada Episode 7. Risho Kosei Kai is a global Buddhist movement to bring peace to our families, communities, and countries and to the world by turning our everyday life into Buddhist practice. Please visit our website www.arkina.org to find out more about our upcoming events, classes, and programs. We are a nonprofit organization. Thank you very much for your memberships and donations. Thank you for listening.